Hey everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is healthy, and I hope everyone's ready to learn today. So, what we're going over today is this idea of contractions. So, I think we're just going to get started with the presentation. So, what is a contraction? So, a contraction is when you shorten two words by making it one word. Another way to say this is you're just combining two words. When contractions are written, they are written with this thing called an apostrophe. And an apostrophe is just a punctuation mark. And on the bottom of the screen, this is what the apostrophe looks like. So, to start with, there are a bunch of words that use the word, there's a bunch of contractions that use the word not. So, some of the examples that I have here, so let's take the first one. So, right here I have cannot. So, you might say, like, oh, I cannot go outside today. But what you can say instead is you can add can and not together and you can write it as can't. Like, I can't go outside today. So some other ones that I have here are I have did not, and that becomes didn't. Has not, and that becomes hasn't. Have not becomes haven't. Does not becomes doesn't. So if you're noticing, I am saying these words a little bit different. If anything, it just sounds like I'm saying did not, like for example, did not, and it sounds like I'm just saying it faster. So instead of saying did not, I'm just saying didn't. So that we say this, so you may see these in writing sometimes. You might see these contractions when you read. However, they are used a lot when people speak to each other. So here's some more contractions with the word not. So could not becomes couldn't, should not becomes shouldn't, would not becomes wouldn't, is not becomes isn't, and then this last one is a little bit different. So will not becomes won't. So you can say, I will not do that, or you can say, I won't do that. And I also have kind of like a little note at the bottom that won't is different from other not contractions. That's the main one to keep an eye out for, to look for when you're reading or when people are speaking. So right here I kind of have like a little short story that I wrote that uses contractions. So this first story on the top, oh, I think the screen got cut off, but I'll read both of them to you anyways. So the first one I have, Madison did not go to work today. You will not believe why. Madison slept in too late because she could not set her alarm clock. Her alarm clock broke because her dog ate it. Now that is not fair. So the story is perfectly fine as it is. However, you can shorten the story with contractions. You can say, Madison didn't go to work today. You won't believe why. Madison slept in too late because she couldn't set her alarm clock. Her alarm clock broke because her dog ate it. Now that isn't fair. So another style of contractions that we have are with the word have at the end. So I've written them all up here. So I have becomes I've. So in this instance, you might say, you could say, I have been exercising every day. Or you could say, I've been exercising every day. They sound very similar, but there is a little bit of a shortening there with I've. So next we have like you have, you've, we have, we've, they have, they've, and then we go down to a little bit different form. We have should have becomes should've, could have becomes could've, and would have becomes would've. Now, it's also important to point out that in a way, I think, so you can say, like, I have as it is. It's perfectly fine. You can say that and it makes complete sense. I would encourage you to also practice out, like saying these out loud, like saying the contractions out loud, like I've, you've, should've, could've. I would encourage you to say those out loud and practice them. So these contractions with the word has, these are meant to be very similar or the same as the have contractions. And I wrote that at the top, but I just wanted to point that out. So if I want to say, so these are going to be a little more different from the have ones. These these are not used as much as like the have contractions. Sorry. These are not used as much. In a way, they are a little more slang, and slang is kind of like a word that we use. It's like street talk in a way. However, I would say like these contractions are a little more slang use, or they're also very common in England, not as much in America. But I'll show you how they're used if you were to hear one or read one anywhere. So he has becomes he's, she has becomes she's, and then it has becomes its. So I'll just say an example here. You could say, he has, sorry, here's my example. I could say, he has a great smile. Or you could say, he's a great smile. Now, the second sentence might sound very weird. The second one, like, he's a great smile, that sounds very odd, especially to an American English speaker. But some people who speak English around the world are going to use these. And there's different times when they make more sense than other times. But I have an example of one of these in the next story that I'm about to show you. But now you'll kind of get an idea of what I'm going for. So here's another story. I'm gonna read the first one. The first one is with no contractions, and the second one is with the contractions. It's the same story, but it's just showing how these contractions are used. So I'll start. I have been having a lot of fun with my friend Kate on our vacation. We have been going on walks on the beach. She has got a great camera, and we take a lot of pictures. Yesterday, it rained while we were on the beach. We should have checked the weather before we left. And so that's kind of the story before I add in the contractions. So now here is the story with the contractions. It's the same story, but it's just shortened a little bit. So I can say, I've been having a lot of fun with my friend Kate on her vacation. We've been going on walks on the beach. She's got a great camera, and we take a lot of pictures. Yesterday, it rained while we were on the beach. we should have checked the weather before we left. But yeah, so that's the story. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Because contractions are kind of contractions can be a very big lesson. And I think I want to go over it kind of this whole week. So there is going to be 2 more video lessons that I will record for everybody coming out later this week. They will be on YouTube, and I will put them in the WhatsApp group. If you have any questions about contractions so far, please feel free to email me, or sorry, not email, you can message me on WhatsApp, you can text me, whatever works best for you. And once again, I hope everyone is safe and healthy right now, and I hope everyone is doing all right. All right, well, have a great day.